Hey guys, Dr. Decks here. Welcome to our current deck build. We are right in the hot and heavy section of building a curved staircase. I don't do this every day, but when I do, it is a cluster mess of figuring things out. We are problem solvers, and that's what we're gonna do today, is solve a couple right on camera. So if you like this video, or you're getting it, or you like the actual structure we're building, please don't forget to click that subscribe button. We really appreciate it. Okay, so what I'm doing right now is we poured concrete on Friday. Okay, I'm gonna start over. So last week we poured concrete, we let it set up over the weekend. Now we have to put in some support. So what I'm doing is I'm installing some 4x4 support for the staircase. Normally I use 4x6 posts, but there's a reason why I'm using 4x4 posts for this particular build, because I'm running these 4x4s all the way from our concrete footing on the ground through the stairs and up to the top, where we can use it for a rail post as well. Okay, so it's multiple purpose. It supports the staircase from the ground. It's gonna hold up beams on the underside of the stairs, and then it's gonna come through and we're gonna sleeve it for a rail post, just like we did on all the other posts on this project. If you go back and watch some of our earlier videos on the same project, you'll see that we had some blank posts, and then we put nice post sleeves over those, and then we put our rail system in. We're gonna be heat bending rail kits to fit this curve, which is going to be unique as well. So stay tuned for that. So what I'm doing today though, and the reason we're shooting this video, is I have a concrete pad that I didn't put anything in. It's just poured concrete with a smoothed off top. Then I'm going to use one of these strong tie ABA 44Z. It's a Z-Max coated elevated post bracket for a 4x4. They have a ABA 44, they have an ABA 46, and they also have an ABA 66 Z, which stands for Z-Max. It has a special coating on it that resists pressure treated lumber chemicals and things like that. So we're going to use one of Strong Tie's Titan bolts. These are stainless steel, and they're pretty awesome. Instead of running a piece of J-bolt or rebar or something sticking in the concrete, on Friday, I had no idea where this post was gonna be located, even though last week I had an idea, but if I wanted to be that precise, it would have took me hours to set these footings if I would have tried to run something up through this that I could screw down a bolt to. So instead of doing that, I just put my footing top in the vicinity of where I wanted this post to go. It's not perfect. It's not going to be directly in the middle or in the center of this footing, but it's good enough for support. And then I'm going to drill a hole, and I'm going to put this bolt through that 1/2-inch hole, and it has a built-in washer head, so it's going to anchor this down right to the concrete. So for those of you that have never done this before, this is a cool way to do it, because you can always loosen this a little bit and spin this and make some adjustments on it if you have to get that perfect fit. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna grab a 4x4, I'm gonna cut it to the correct height. I want 42 inches sticking above the height of the tread. And then I'm going to identify, I'm gonna plumb the post and identify where the base goes, and then we'll be able to drill our hole, clean it out, install this bracket, and then we can install the post. And that'll be the complete installation. So give me a minute to get that post cut. I'll be right back. Okay, so I have identified where the 4x4 bracket needs to be installed on the concrete. So now I'm going to drill a 1/2-inch hole with this roto hammer so I can put this bolt into the concrete. So we'll get that drilled out and we'll hit the next step. All right, so our hole's drilled. We'll go ahead and take this Titan bolt. I'm gonna use an impact wrench to get it close to tight, and then I'm gonna take a torque wrench and torque it to recommended specs that is on the Simpson website, Simpson Strong Tie webpage, okay? You can go there, www.strongtie.com. Look up the torque specifications for Titan bolts, Titen, Titan bolts. So here we go. I'm making sure that it's sitting pretty close to where my pencil lines are. Okay, it's just starting to get snug. I can still move it a little bit, but now I want to put it to the proper torque. So I have this torque wrench is set to 90 pounds. Now I'm going to take my torque wrench. You can see the bracket's still loose. I'm going to take it until the wrench clicks. You hear that? That means you're at the right torque. You don't have to keep going at this point. That's as tight as they want it. I cannot physically move this bracket. It is down. So we have a Z-Max bracket with a stainless steel fastener. You don't need to worry about galvanic corrosion with this combination. It doesn't work like that. I've already verified that with Strong Tie. Okay, now that we have our bracket in place, and we have our post ready to go. This is set where I want it. I'm gonna go ahead and set this post into the bracket. The reason I opened it up a little bit was because I wanna make sure that it's sitting all the way onto the base of the bracket, okay? I'm just gonna take a clamp. I'm gonna clamp this post temporarily to this stair box just to kind of hold it in place. I'll double check my plumb, make sure that everything's good. It should be, because I'm putting it in the location that I originally told it to. Now that this is sitting the way I want, one other thing I'm gonna do, because all of these are temporary, all these 2x4s, this is not, this is permanent. These are temporary. This is temporarily suspending the staircase in the air until I get the beams installed. I wanna make sure that these are level, because I took the temporary support off right here so I could work on this. So this technically could have moved. I've been walking on this. Huh, that looks pretty good to me, right? All right, we're good. So we can anchor into the bottom, into our bracket. We're gonna run some Simpson SD screws in there, and then we'll run some timber locks into here and into here, and then this will be complete. So these are Simpson SD screws. They're called strong drive screws. They're structural screws. That's why I like to use them. I don't like using nails or just any ordinary screw when I'm using Simpson products. They want you to use their matched product. When you're putting their fasteners into the steel, they want you to use their fasteners. Sometimes we use standard galvanized Tico nails, and that's acceptable. But when I'm doing stuff like this, I like to use a structural screw. You don't need a 2.5 because the screws will intersect through the middle of the post. I feel that's a little deep. We're gonna use these 1.5 ones to anchor this small bracket on. Always put the middle screw in first, because it has an ability to adjust the thing back and forth. If you put the side screws in, you might not be able to get the middle screw in last, so I always put it in first. If you look over here, you can see this screw is not quite in the hole. It has to be turned a little bit to fit. So if you don't do this screw first, you may not be able to get it in after the fact. You might have to take it all apart. There we go. So it's just easier to get that center screw in first. Okay, so that's the base. The base is done. Now let's go up and install the fasteners into the post up above, and then we'll take this temporary support apart. Okay, so I noticed there's a small gap. I've temporarily screwed these two levels together, and I noticed there's a small gap. So I'm going to put a clamp on this, take this piece off, clamp it tight, and then I'm gonna attach this lower tread to this post as well. So it gives it it's kind of like double locking things together. There's gonna be a beam under here that's gonna support all this stuff, but anytime I can add an extra layer of attachment, I always do. Maybe it's overbuilding, or maybe it's just 30 plus years of experience. I always find these little things, and this would bug me It's an 1/8 inch. It's still acceptable to code. As long as you're not over 3/8 of an inch in height variance to code, your staircase will pass. But when you go to trim this out, if you have an extra 1/8 inch, sometimes you see that. If I can take that up, let me show you what I'm getting at. By the way, we did a review on this tool right here, this bit holder. I've been using this thing for 3 months and I absolutely love it. When I'm framing, it is so convenient to say, okay, I'm done with that 1/4 bit. I need a spider drive. What I did was I bought a bunch of these and I took all the black and silver ones and put them on mine because those are my company colors, black and silver. I just stopped for $8 or $10 or whatever I paid for it. It's more than paid for itself and trips back and forth to the bit box. Okay, so right now you can see that I've taken this apart. It's completely loose. It's just the whole staircase wants to move. I want to decrease this gap to 0 and probably push in on this a little bit at the same time. So I could actually use 2 clamps if I really need to. My fastener, when I put this fastener in, it will push it in, but let's go ahead and just clamp that together. Now she's nice and tight. So now I can go ahead and finish fastening this back side of this stair box into this 4x4. All right, so now we have everything attached. Our brackets installed in the base of the concrete. It's nice and solid. So that's basically how we are supporting the base of the staircase and the rail system and the center of the stairs all in one unit. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope this helps somebody. Don't forget, if you like this video, or even if you hate it, hit the subscribe button. Also, leave a comment below and let us know what you think of the video. Hit the bell icon if you want to be notified when we're putting out new content, which is usually 3 days a week. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.